I know I said that I was never going to the library. I was breaking up with the libraries, but in this video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 favorite reasons why I love Read Yourself an Education Around the World. This is a new set of homeschooling books published by a homeschooling mom of 10. And I'm going to share with you some of the reasons why I love it and why it could be a great fit for any family, no matter what homeschooling method you are using. And make sure that you stay until the end of this video to find out how you can get the first semester of the first book for free and download it today. So let's get started. Hi there, my name is Karen and welcome back to our channel called Our House. I like to help you go from questions to confidence when it comes to the Robinson curriculum and even homeschooling in general. Now, one of the reasons why I think some parents are a little bit hesitant to homeschool is they're overwhelmed by the thought of it, of maybe purchasing curriculum for each and every child and helping them with all of that. It can seem very overwhelming, both from a financial standpoint and just as your personal resources as a mother. Can you do it? And this is one way that can really simplify, not just simplify the process, but also really make it enjoyable and special. Now, if you're not familiar with unit studies, how that works is that everybody is on their own for math and language arts at their own level. However, all the other subjects, geography, history, Bible, arts, craft, science, everything like that is studied and worked on together as a family. We obviously love books here at Our House. The Robinson curriculum is centered around books. Acquiring information through carefully selected books is just the best way to learn something, to homeschool. And so that is the approach that this curriculum takes. Some other benefits of using this method, besides being interest-led and the children learn better, they're more excited about learning, some other benefits are that the younger children are observing and watching the older students. So they're picking up a lot there and they're being entertained. Also, the older children are helping the younger children, which is great for reinforcing concepts for them. And I've actually talked a lot about that, referencing the overnight student, that whole method of just teaching it either to yourself or teaching it to others is just such a great way to reinforce subjects. So it really is a win-win for everybody. Now, before we jump into my top 5 favorite reasons, I do want to mention that this curriculum is brought to you by Susana Anderson, who also produced Busy Family Menu Planning. And the reason I want to mention that is because I've often brought up how helpful this book is to busy moms because of all the heavy lifting she already did. It doesn't just contain recipes, but also the basics and also 10 weeks of menu plans, and each week has the ingredient list all ready for you. So this is a tremendous resource because she has done so much work for us already. And the same trend followed through in Read Yourself an Education Around the World. And I'm going to share exactly how in my top 5 reasons. So let's just jump right in. Now, reason number 1 is that there are 2 different ways to use this curriculum. Number 1, you can use it as your standalone curriculum and just add math and language arts. Or number 2, you can use it as a supplemental reading list. So for example, sometimes the question comes up with Robinson curriculum families, I need something to put down for science. I need something to put down for geography. Maybe they're in a state where they have to come up with this individualized education plan. Something like this can be very helpful. You can put this down, you can put the books listed. There's different ways that you can go about it. Another question that I get asked often as an RC family is, what about newer books? Do you read any newer books? And so I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, why a resource like this can be really helpful. And that brings me to my reason number 2, which is book selections. I want to read you an excerpt from her book where it says books that are excluded. And so these are the books that you will not find on this list, and that is books that are irreverent towards God or Christianity, books that are vulgar, profane, crude, or otherwise inappropriate, books that portray sinful lifestyles in a positive light. That's a big one. And books that promote agendas that run contrary to the Bible, such as false religions or major faulty doctrine. And so for that reason alone, this resource is really valuable to me. Now, I've mentioned in the past on this channel other books that I really appreciate, like the Read Aloud Handbook is one of my favorite, and books that children love. And I do love them, and I get lots of great book suggestions from them. However, you know, there's not the same selection, there's not the same criteria there, and so sometimes I do get books that I start reading and I'm just really disappointed with them, and Now I feel like I have to get through them because I started them. And so I can give you a perfect example of this, and that is the book Vinegar Boy. Recently we read that one together as a family. I found it in one of these books that has all the book lists, book suggestions, and I thought, oh, this sounds really good. I understand that it's fiction and it was trying to weave itself into a Bible story, but I just didn't like how it was basically just adding to God's word. Things about it made me really uncomfortable. I just didn't like it, but I felt bad that my children were invested in the story now and they wanted to hear the ending. So having a book list that already has passed the selection criteria from someone who is like-minded is just such a blessing. And honestly, I've already been picking her brain for at least a couple years now of book selections. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And she has not just given me great book suggestions, books that my children have really fallen in love with, and she has also warned me about books that maybe everybody else, all these other popular homeschooling websites are saying it's such a great book, but then she lets me know in what areas it kind of goes into one of these categories of books that are excluded. So that is just so helpful. And this question comes up often to me as an RC family: do you read any new books? And yes, but it is a jungle out there, and so I want to be very careful what newer books we are bringing into our house. And this just lifts off a huge weight off my shoulders, having to pre-read and scan and research every single book title that we want to check out. All the work has already been done. That is just so helpful. Number 3 is how she categorized all the book lists. So just like she did so much of the work in planning, in Busy Family Menu Planning, she has done so much of the planning for us in the book list. It has it broken down by categories. So if you're in the juvenile fiction section, you can look all for those titles. If you're in the literature, easy picture book section, you can look up all those titles. She has also included the library reference numbers for the books. Now the books that are categorized by the author's names, obviously those will be the same at any library, but even these call numbers, if they're not an exact match at your library, it will still get you in that general area of where you need to find it. This is something else that is extremely helpful and time saving. Now I want to show you what this actually looks like in action. So we are going to go to the library right now. I'm going to bring you along with us, and we're going to see what we can find using her book list and all the work that she has already done for us. And then we'll go over my last 2 favorite reasons and how you can get this free download. Now I know I said that I was never going to the library. I was breaking up with the libraries, but my super sweet friend actually came to the library and got my fines waived for me. She is awesome. So here we are back at the Chandler Library. We have not been here in a very, very long time. So let's get reacquainted. Is the general suggestions for related activities. So for example, there are things for geography, history, language arts, science, arts and craft, and others. For example, going to a museum, cooking a meal from a certain country, writing and putting on a play about that topic studied, memorizing capitals and countries of the states you visit, practicing using an atlas, copying from selected pieces of literature. These are some general suggestions, but then as you go into the actual weeks, there's more specific activities. So how I am using this as an RC family is on those days where a child doesn't know what to write about because they write a daily essay every day. If they're stuck on ideas, we can just look at the activities for that week. So for example, one of the activities here is have the child write a creative story of himself, herself as an explorer. So this is just a great win-win because you can give them an idea of what to write about, and it's also going to be in the related field of what they're maybe studying that week. So again, just win-win. And reason number 5 why I love this resource is because it goes really above and beyond other unit study books that I have seen. Not only does it give you the cycles and the book list and extras like the actual book reference numbers and activities, but it also just really helps prepare you for homeschooling in general. So if this is something that is brand new to you, there's a suggested daily schedule, which is really excellent. Suggested grade levels. There's also a section on audiobooks, when to use them, where to find them. So in general, the introduction really helps to help you feel confident and excited about this way of learning. So those are my top 5 favorite reasons why I love Read Yourself in Education Around the World. Now, how can you get this free download? Right now, you can download the first semester of the first volume. Now, the book is not out yet. It will be released soon. However, the author wanted you to go ahead and be able to start it this school year if you wanted to. So you can download this first semester and try it out. See if you like it. See if this would be a good fit for you before you purchase when the book is released. I will link below in the description and also pin it in the comments, the link where you can find it. It's very easy, readyourselfineducation.com. You can download your preview copy there and also sign up to be added to the mailing list, and that will alert you when the book is available for purchase. So make sure that you check it out, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye.